None of them were shouting or complaining. Every one of them were thanking me as if it was something special. I mean it sincerely.
All right, guys. So the L's keep piling up for Biden. I feel like every single day I am doing a new video about an L that Biden or his administration is taking. Okay. I mean, at this point, bruh, Biden literally could be in the running for worst president in history. I'm so serious. Like, that's no cap. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it's a disaster across the board for him, right? Whether it's the economy, whether it's immigration, whether it's foreign policy, whether it's any type of domestic stuff, Biden is just falling apart, right? His administration is an absolute disaster, and it's showing up in the polls, guys. It's showing up in the polls. And the biggest difference, guys, really is the media coverage. It's not like people like me and people like you and those that are conservative on the right haven't been saying this since the man got in office. Right? Matter of fact, we've been saying this before he got in office, right? We've been saying that the dude was not qualified or mentally capable of being president. But the mainstream liberal media made sure to put out false narratives about Trump, right? And to prop up their puppet, Biden, as hard as they could, didn't cover him fairly. And it's almost like people didn't really understand who or what they were actually voting for, right? It's almost like they didn't understand any of the policies that the Biden administration was pushing for. It's almost like the only thing they understood was Trump bad, Biden good. Now, lo and behold, once the media actually starts to cover Biden fairly, all of a sudden people look at Biden's policies, they're like, bruh, we didn't sign up for this, right? We don't want this. And again, it's reflected in his approval rating, as it now falls below 40%, guys. Below 40%. Guys, this man is probably going to be in a running for worst president ever. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. And some people might say, well, what about Trump's numbers? Well, Trump's numbers were his numbers because the media disproportionately covered him negatively. Biden has these numbers with disproportionately positive media coverage that he did not deserve. Trump did not deserve nearly as much negative media coverage as he got from the mainstream liberal media. So again, guys, that shows you how much the media plays a role in the perception of the president of the United States. So let's read here about Biden's plummeting poll numbers. President Joe Biden's approval rating has collapsed to 39%, the lowest point of his presidency, according to a Wednesday Economist YouGov poll. While only 39% approve of Biden's job performance, 49% disapprove, a drop of 6% in 1 week. So as you can see there, guys, over the week, it is continuing to decline. And this is as the liberal media is trying to help Biden, right? They're trying to give Biden a parachute, okay? They're trying to open up Biden's parachute, right? To keep him from free falling. However, it seems that the parachute is not working, right? And Biden may be in for a nasty landing. Overall, Biden's evaporating approval numbers are primarily due to Democrats, who have begun abandoning him amid the challenges of inflation, Afghanistan, and coronavirus. Nearly 9 out of 10 Democrats had approved of Biden for almost half of his first year, but Democrats have since dropped support of the president by 9% in 1 week, 77% from 86%. Yeah, okay, that makes a ton of sense. The reason why, again, guys, because a lot of people checked out of politics, right? A lot of Democrats, there was like, oh, Trump's out of office. Biden, the country's in good hands. Don't worry. You don't need to pay attention to what's going on, right? The country's in good hands simply because Biden's out of office. A lot of Democrats thought that way. So they stopped paying attention. But with this Afghanistan thing happening, people started tuning back in. So when people started actually tuning back into politics and seeing what is going on, people was like, oh, wait, we got an immigration crisis. We got an economic crisis, inflation crisis, a jobs crisis. Gas prices are high. Biden has not stopped the virus like he said he would stop. And on top of that, Afghanistan, right? All of those things, once people started educating themselves and pay attention to what was going on because the mainstream liberal media was actually covering him the way they should have, now you see that, oh, we don't really like this, right? We don't really like this. Okay? Not a surprise to me at all. Not a surprise to me at all. Biden is not just suffering from Democrat low approval. Only 39% of independents approve of Biden's performance. 9% of Republicans feel the same way. So no Republicans approve of Biden, and some independents are still hanging on to Biden, right? They still hanging on. There's some hope. With respect to specific issues, a greater portion of Americans disapprove of Biden's handling of coronavirus for the first time. 45% disapprove and 42% approve. Again, it makes perfect sense because he told us that he was going to shut down the virus, that Trump was so bad. Trump was so bad, right? That he was going to come in and it was magically going to get fixed. Guess what? He gets into office with a layup, the vaccines from Trump. And guess what? Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. So again, that's a promise made, promise broken, another one from the Biden administration. Again, people are not stupid. This is why you don't make promises you can't keep, right? This is why you don't make promises you can't keep. This is why you don't criticize people for things that you know that you would not be able to handle better. Like, and I kept telling you guys when they was criticizing Trump about Corona, I was like, bro, there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Democrats are not in a position to shut down the economy. They can't. If they do, all hell is going to break loose. Right. And we're not in a position to spend trillions and more dollars, even though they act like we can. We really can't. OK, so there's nothing they can do. On jobs in the economy, 40% approve and 47% disapprove. Only 16% of American adults now think the economy is improving, while nearly 3 times as many, 44%. In addition, a plurality of Americans also think Biden is to blame for the fledgling economy that is reeling from inflation. About 45% blame Biden and 26% blame former President Trump. And again, that makes sense. That makes sense because, listen, all the economists at the beginning of the year was like, yo, this is going to be record amount of growth, right? Because the economy is going to be rebounding. We're going to see a good economy. Biden gets into office. He pours too much money into the economy. He keeps people on the couch, not working because of his expanded unemployment benefits. And now all of a sudden you're seeing inflation. You're seeing the economy struggle. And now with the Delta variant surging, you now have people that are like, I don't want to go out to eat anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Mainly because of Democrat fear mongering. Again, the Democrats are doing this to themselves. They've done this to themselves. Regarding Afghanistan, only 33% of Americans approve of Biden's management, while 55% disapprove, including 25% of Democrats. Biden's lowest polling of his presidency comes as pollsters and strategists have begun to vocalize their frustration with the Biden administration. A strategist told Politico, quote, when Biden was elected, it was supposed to be, oh, the adults are back in the room to take charge. It turns out we can't do anything. Any Democratic strategist who thinks this is not going to impact the midterms or impact Biden getting reelected clearly doesn't know what the F they are talking about. Whew. I absolutely agree with that, right? And some Democrat strategists are actually getting smart, deciding that, hey, you know what? Maybe that Trump guy, maybe his policies were not that bad. Maybe his policies are something that we need to go to. Maybe we need to move to the right, which I said when this whole Supreme Court thing happened, when they forced Biden to re-implement Trump's stay in Mexico policy. I said, this is kind of a blessing in disguise because Biden needs to move to the right. Okay. He doesn't need to move to the left. He's been kind of riding the fence. He needs to go full-blown conservative. That's what Biden needs to do. Biden needs to start acting like a Republican, right? That's what he needs to be doing. Up until this point, he's been trying to straddle the fence. And it appears that some of the Biden officials agree with me because they are low-key relieved that the Supreme Court is forcing Biden to re-implement Trump's border policy, right? So let's read here. Some in Democrat President Joe Biden's administration reportedly felt relieved that the U.S. Supreme Court forced the administration to reinstate some of Trump administration's immigration policies. Their relief came as the Biden administration saw an explosion in illegal immigration on the southern border that many have said is a direct result of Biden's policies. While the Supreme Court effectively revived a cornerstone of Trump-era migration policy late last month, it looked like a major defeat for President Biden. The New York Times reported referencing the Trump administration's Remain in Mexico policy. But among some Biden officials, the Supreme Court's order was quietly greeted with something other than dismay. Current and former officials said it brought some measure of relief. Woo. The report noted that Biden's steps to loosen the reins on migration was quickly followed by a surge of people heading north, overwhelming the southwest border of the United States. Every month, the number of illegal aliens apprehended at the border under Biden has increased to a higher number than the month before. Quote, in fact, some Biden officials are already talking about reviving Mr. Trump's policy in a limited way to deter migration. Some officials who have worked on immigration policy but were not authorized to speak publicly about the administration's internal debates on the issue, the report added. Then the Supreme Court order came, providing the Biden administration with political cover to adopt the policy in some form without provoking as much ire from Democrats who revile Mr. Trump's border policies. Alan Bernson, who served as commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection under President Barack Obama, told the New York Times that Biden's desire to reverse Trump's policies and to do so quickly caused the crisis to erupt on the southern border, which he says was not unpredictable and is very sad to watch. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Okay? We could have all told you that. Everybody on the right was saying that. Everybody on the right was saying that, yeah, Biden coming in and saying, I'm reversing everything Trump did, regardless of whether it was good or bad, was dumb. It was stupid. It was reckless. And it caused the border crisis. Now, all of a sudden, Biden officials are low-key relieved, low-key happy that the Supreme Court is like, yo, you might want to re-implement some of Trump's policies. And if I'm Biden, again, like I said, I would be thinking long and hard about moving to the right. Moving to the right on a lot of issues. Because at this point, he doesn't really have a choice. And his presidency is falling apart. The only thing that can save him is to backtrack on all this progressive legislation that the Democrat Party is trying to push and to adopt policies that actually make sense, right? Like Trump's immigration policy, right? Get tough on the border, okay? You know, even though Biden's a Democrat, I want a closed border, whether or not it's a Democrat president or a Republican president. So yes, I'm gonna come out here and say, Biden, I want you to do the right thing. I want you to focus more on the immigration crisis, right? I want you to focus on stop putting more money into the economy and overheating it, right? I want you to focus on trying to incentivize people to go back to work, right? That's what I want for the sake of this country. This is what we need. So yeah, guys, like I've been saying, and I'll keep saying it, the Biden administration's presidency is effectively done, right? Unless he makes some major changes, it is effectively done. I'm sorry. This goose has been cooked. But I wouldn't be surprised if mainstream media tries to reverse the narrative. I'm pretty sure they will. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.